to Victor Conte about, the possibility of Andre testing at some point, but I never assured him that he would begin testing this fight. I think what people have to understand is that, excuse me, I think what people have to understand is that I felt, and first of all, this is not a bash on Victor. I consider him a fan. I consider him a man who's done and continuing to do great things. But when you look at Edwin in his past fights in Monaco and things like that, the VADA testing was never brought up to these opponents. So it definitely, with me, by me talking to Victor personally, me letting him know that, number one, if Andre decides that he's going to test, he's going to do it under his own time, he's going to do it under his own rules. And I requested to talk to Margaret Goodman at that point, but she had a death in the family, and she couldn't do it at the moment. But later on, she came back and said that she would sponsor the two fighters, but I specifically told Victor that Andre would decide who he's going to go with and when he's going to go with when he's ready to do it, because he and I had discussed that, long before this issue even came up. But look, Victor's a great man, and I don't even know if he'll mind me saying this, but at the same time, I felt that he has one flaw, and I feel that his flaw is his desire for attention, and his desire to be revealed in the media exceeded and superseded logic in this situation. I mean, if you should want to get the top athletes in your program, which strengthens the program. But you have to be very, very astute on how you go about doing it. For instance, Provodnikov is testing VADA now, and Alvarado declined. But if you notice, wasn't any backlash or anything, no prologue or afterward, anything written about Alvarado's refusal, or nobody even took time to find out why he didn't do it. We had the Marquez situation. So there's a lot of situations that contradict itself. I have a lot of athletes with Victor, but he's only sponsoring the one that's going to bring the publicity. That's Amir Khan, and that's Andre Ward, who he attempted to sponsor. I have Brandon Gonzalez that wore a snack hat in the ring. I have Alfredo Angulo. I have several athletes that represent snack in a very dignified way, but not one time have they been approached about VADA sponsorship. Why? Because the cameras are not there, and the media is not there. So I'm very disappointed in the fact, because what people need to understand is Andre was Victor's first boxer. And I took Andre personally, me, to Victor, because I believed in his nutrition. I believed that he was a man that had acknowledged his wrongs and that he was on the right track. I admired the way he looked after Remy Korchemi, who I felt in that Balco case was thrown under the bus, and that he looked after Remy, who I really, really think is just the top guy when it comes to speed work. One of the top guys when it comes to speed work, and he's very effective. So trust me, he has a lot of qualities that I admire, and I hope to continue to work with him, with my athletes. But I'm not at all bashful about saying that he has to realize that it's okay to do good behind the scenes. Now, I took Andre to Victor, and at that time, anybody with any common sense would know that it would be a backlash if this was brought out. And I specifically, we offered to pay, so that's okay. We offered to pay for the services, from the work with Remy to the nutrition, the whole bit. Because we told him, listen, let's just ease into this slow. There's no need to publicize it. There's no need to go out and things like that, because the only person who's going to get negative feedback is Andre. Let's give it a period of time. We're not trying to be and live in this big world of secrecy or anything else like that, but it's a matter of the right timing. And we want to work with you. We have forgiven you as Christian people. We have forgiven you. But now we don't know this is this age. So there was no need to publicize the work. There are a lot of personal trainers that have athletes that have no need for the publicity. But some kind of way, it got out, and what happened was Andre took a lot of negative backlash, and he saw through it. He was disappointed because it forced him to look at the motives, particularly after we agreed that let's just take our time, let's ease into it. We said specifically, we will pay for this. Trying to keep you some sort of big secret or anything, but we want to make sure that we're going into this right and everything, because you're not going to suffer. He is, and that's exactly what happened. So he lost Andre, but at the same time, Andre, when other athletes came to him, because Victor would continue to use his name with other athletes, when they come to him, he gave Victor a flying color review. Each athlete from Nonito, and I know Victor would dispute this, but it was Andre who let Nito know that, hey, this is a good situation. This is not for me right now, but it could be for you. And, the nutrition and the knowledge and everything, he blessed him. That's why he's with him. Andre Burrow, the same thing. So, he held anything against Victor, although it was portrayed to be that way. And you have some, people who are able to report it based on hearing it from one side, never taking time to investigate both sides, who, just basically went on a little smear campaign, trying to belittle and try to defame, Andre's name and also slander his character, which really is unfortunate, because they didn't take time to know anything about him. They didn't take time to talk to him. They didn't take time to do anything. They just sort of went on what they were told. So, in that respect, that's why he didn't do VADA. He knew instantly when Edwin brought this up, why it was brought up. He knew instantly what was behind it. And, look, I know Victor very well. He and I have a close relationship. We talk. He's a brilliant man. I've learned a lot from him, and I've learned, I admire him, but like I said, he has that one flaw that I hope he and I will have an opportunity over the next few days, and we could sit down and talk about. I don't know if he'll be upset about it, but he needs to understand that I was upset how he went about putting my kid out there like that, who had done absolutely nothing to him, and he was the first athlete to ever work with him. I was very upset about that. It was uncalled for. And again, it was all because of his desire to be in the headlines. And I hope that's something that he overcomes, because he has a lot to offer. Look, it's like I said, Ben, I know Victor very well. He and I have had some very, very private conversations, and I know quite a bit about that situation. outgoing any. I don't feel like I'm, I don't feel like I should go into it.
Yeah.
To the point where I'm coming down, crossing T's and dotting I's, because these conversations were strictly between he and I. The main thing and the most important thing is that he knows, and I know what the truth is, and what the real deal is. But saying that is to say that he has done a lot of good. He has helped a lot of people who couldn't get those services anywhere else because they cost him. A lot of guys that work with him are not able to afford these things. And again, it would be easy to dissect it and easy to put it on the straight and narrow if all the athletes were offered sponsorship. They all do the same training. They all get hit in the head. They all, PED use is just as prevalent in the lower ranks as it is in the higher ranks. People who are trying to climb the ladders are more apt to use it than people who made it to the top. So if you're going to do one, do them all. Don't discriminate and do the ones where the cameras are going to be at the press conference, where the media is going to be at the press conference. Do the ones that fight, offer sponsorship to the ones that still fighting in the ballrooms and the fairgrounds, and with the 1,000 in attendance, and maybe one rider covering it. Offer to them. They're representing you. They're wearing the snack shirt. They're word of mouth of your expertise. They're word of mouth of your kindness. So offer to them also. Don't pick and choose, like I said, out of my whole stable, only Amir Khan and Andre Ward are those who seem to be the most important when it comes to VADA sponsorship. Well, I have Brandon Gonzalez ranked in the top 10 now. I think he deserves the same thing. I have Fredo Angulo just fought Ronnie Lore in a tough fight. He's at a level where he could come up against someone on PZ. I think he deserves that same opportunity. Don't discriminate because it's a bigger showing. And that's my message about the situation. And then, when it doesn't go your way, don't manipulate your mouthpieces and telling them just your side of the story. I mean, and your mouthpieces should be professional enough to, before they print anything, that's their journalistic duty to find both sides of the story. Otherwise, it's reckless and it's irresponsible. With all these things going on, I'm more disappointed in the professionalism. I'm more disappointed in the motives. I'm more disappointed in the initiatives than anything else. Because look, these are people I know. These are people that I have embraced over the years. These are people that I know a lot of intimate things about. And so it's very disappointing. It's a big letdown because it didn't have to go this way. But when you try to slander or hurt my kids, I'm not going to stand for it.